world of YouTube and all my subs in the UK. Um, boy, trying to keep my mind straight. I did get to looking in to missing persons out in the UK. I have come to some interesting conclusions. Of course, here is very few of the missing. We'll go over them. Go figure. Now we're going to go over them. Definitely not going to be briefly. No, will be briefly. Because these cases are just left up in the air. And I mean, you know, usually you get stories that say, oh, this person was last seen here. Seen doing this, doing that. A lot of the people here, nothing. No background story, no nothing. It's just like, what the hell? And, some have been missing for years, including one man since June 2010. I haven't even looked into the 70s, 60s, 80s. I guess it's the most recent, so start with Jonathan South. Police fear for the welfare of a man who was gone missing after leaving a medical center in Wells early on Thursday morning. 39 from Glastonbury was last seen 10 a.m. leaving Priory Medical Center in Wells. That's it. He is described as a white with long brown hair. I believe this is the old chop. Public help locating the missing. Back from that message from short brief message. Drink water, lots of it. Anyways, in all seriousness, he was last seen wearing a blue long sleeve jersey top. Looks like he wears the old 80s long sleeves and red and green pattern sarong. I don't even know what that is. With gray sandals. Carrying a white plastic bag. It's about my wonders if this guy had enough in the hospital. Why he was there is the question. Of course, it don't say that. And just to get up and walk out, it's just, you know, whether he had, you know, mental issues, it's that's all it says. Very disturbing. Stephen Kent. I need your help to find the 61-year-old Stephen. He's been missing from Weymouth since July 19th last year. Now, wait a minute. When was this posted? It's April 2017. Most recent update. You go down here. As people say there was a great concern for his welfare. I think you might have seen Stephen call, text, helpline, blah, blah, blah. There he is. So 2016. Just seen in Weymouth. Disappears without a trace. Now they do the investigation of, have you seen this man? Not if he ain't got a lot of details. No buildings coming in and out of. Not on this radius of this street between the 1600 street to the 1700 street. Just missing. Timothy Foot. Kind of looks like one of them Harry Potter people. This is Timothy Foot, 38 years old. Missing from Bristol, June 2010. You recognize him. Take a look at his photo. Now, people that know this man, let alone family members, they don't give no actual... It's freaking frustrating. They had family and they said, oh, he lived here. He used to do that, average of doing this there, and nothing. It's insane. And you got Amram Hussein, Suyan, I can't pronounce that. Must be from the Middle East. But he also was from Bristol, 2016. Have you seen him? Wayne Petherwick. 42. It's gone missing from Bournemouth in Dorset since February 13th this year. So that would be 2017. I don't know if I go out and look into updates to see if anything had come up. I haven't done that yet. But one thing at a time. Angela Reynolds, 2015, from Bridgewater. Someplace I'd like to be right now. Bridgewater, Mass. Asylum. She went missing, 42 years old. I believe she may have traveled to Peru. Now see, there's something, but not enough. It's like, what the hell? John Hurst. Concerned for the welfare, 46 years old, last seen in Cornwall. 1 p.m., Tuesday, 7th March. And this described as a white 6 foot of a medium large built, short dark hair with a beard, stubbled, and a scratch above his left eye. Probably would be that little dot up there over the eyebrow. You got Sarah Fenton, 2012. She was another one from Bristol. Last seen by her husband. They were traveled on a Condor rapid high-speed car ferry from, I'm going to torture this, Guernsey to Liverpool. British and French Coast Guard searched the waters for the woman. She has never been found. Of course, there's a new episode on TV coming up I don't think I'd be able to watch, but talking about people and being murdered on boats, cruise ships. But nothing that this husband and wife are having a, fallout. Nobody comes forth to say, oh, they were having a shady marriage. Just they were on a boat or a ferry or whatever the hell this high-speed car. Someone out there in London will have to update. Was that? No. I'm going to say the double-decker bus, but I don't think that is it. I've watched a lot of London movies. But, like I say, no witnesses in these cases. Nothing. But 3 to 4 people being in Bristol, to me, oh yeah, here it goes on to say that Sarah's family very concerned. Who wouldn't be? Surrounding this, I am appealing to anyone who may have seen Sarah on board the ferry. Oh, it is a ferry. Contact me urgently. I forgot that. But, yeah. The things that are just not there. Lauren Phillips, 26. Failed to turn up at work in Bristol. Kind of sounds like to me, people, I want to say you got a serial killer out there. But like I say, I haven't updated to see if anybody was updated, have been found. But to me, with this just missing without a trace, serial killer. And, mind you, which I'll bring up something in a moment, and I'm not going to say anybody's name, but for this person to be right around them areas. Yeah, something to think about when I show you the mapping. She's 5 foot, 5 inches tall, slim build, and there's been no sign of her. And her car was located in Woolacombe, Devon. That's it. This guy, poor guy's got a lousy, I'm sure, security picture or security cam picture. But do you know him? We're missing from Temple Cloud in Somerset. February last year. Was just 13 years old. Hoping to contact him and put him back in touch with those who miss him. Simon Robinson, Weymouth. I'm concerned, 45 to 2012. Seen, he was at a guest house along the Esplanade. Has not been seen or made contact with his family since, November 2012. He left the guest house without taking any of his possessions. Lured, was he? Maybe got involved with something. And you have this one here. Selena McDonald, 35 years old. Missing from Portishead. But once again, missing people say they are desperate to make contact with her. Nothing. Scott Cook. Just the graphics of the, this missing person column. Yes, don't get me wrong, there are some here in the States, but there are more with details in it than just saying, hey, this person missing, where he's from. This one was from Weston-super-Mare, 2015. Vanished. But take a look at this photograph. Have you seen him? That's it. Vanished. I believe that's it. Yep. So we're going to take a little stroll over here to my screenshots. Head out to your way, London, Scotland Yard. But we have Bristol over here, Super-Mare, Glastonbury, I believe that was one of them. Bournemouth. But as we can see, all down in this area, in this Devon Lane, I don't want to say what I looked up on this, but I will say Devon Lane, I believe, is here. And something about Western Super Mare. That's right. I don't want to say too much, but bear with me to move my little gadgets. But as you can see, a lot of stuff I've been noticing is throughout this whole area. Right down here, X marks the spot. And to me, because of that dot, wouldn't it be just curiosity that would that be in that Western Super Mare and over here, and somebody might be, traveling back and forth, but let alone making people missing. Something to think about. And of course, if someone that knows what I'm talking about, these two spots, you know where I'm coming from, right? Yeah. But that's a lot of people just vanishing. Gone. Now, like I say, I haven't looked up on any of them to see if they have been, located or whatnot. But I'd have to do that individually. That means I gotta take every name down and check into it. But if they haven't, to me, sounds like someone's just been roaming around this area and just want to make people missing. That's what I think, my fellow young London mates. I'm gonna want to look into some more history of the UK. Of course, my Brigham in, no. Some of my great metal bands that come from your way. Whether it be the great Iron Maiden, Judas Priest, Ozzy Osbourne, Black Sabbath. Of course, I like the Beatles. A lot of good bands coming from your great area. But of course, everybody has to endure their own little dark demons that dwell within their country. Believe it or not, I'm going to end it here. When I was a teenager and I was writing out a bunch of lyrics. I have a bunch of lyrics and songs I wrote. One of them I never finished. And I never really, I wanted to get into it and I've been thinking about it again, but it just wasn't forming. But one thing that really amazes me about London and the UK is your mystic fog that I call. London Mystic Fog. And I wanted to make a song of that. Now, I don't know whether or not you get a lot of fog because you're in the middle of the ocean. Your country is, divided on both sides from the ocean or whatnot. But the old movies and stuff, and watching stuff about Jack the Ripper, even watching the movies like Oliver Twist, which, mind you, I watched that when I was like 6, 7 years old. And that movie just still gives me, the thought of the mystic London fog. Like there's something in there that comes out and brings the worst out of people. Even though I watch too much horror flicks, but, just something to think about. Just like the movie The Fog, but the mystic London fog. I've always had that in my head. And I'd like to make a song of it. Because it's just so, it brings out, like I say, what if it does bring out the worst in people over there? No one's figured it out. there's a lot of things, though, that are mystic. And that's just one of them in my eyes. I thought I'd share that story. I still want to put a song together, so. But I just put it off on hold because, go figure, the only tune I got out of it, kind of, and I kind of felt like I can't do that because I keep getting this, and was the London Leather Boys from the great Accept. So I'm getting the, the Mystic London Fog. I mean, you can see how that kind of, Mystic London Fog, London Leather Boys, it's like, but I mean, I just always had that thought and theory and idea that what lurks beneath your fog out there in the great mighty London. And all I can think about is like stuff like Jack the Ripper in that movie Oliver Twist. Because that man in that movie with the top hat, of course, the younger man, reminded me a lot of that Jack the Ripper. He was very, very, rustic, rowdy looking man. I'm sure they put that guy in there with the thought of Mr. Ripper himself. He wasn't nice to the ladies. But when I saw that movie for the first time, I was like, whoa, and I was young. But I might do a movie review on that. Get out what I got out of that. But anyways, London, I thought I'd just share that with you. Do you have a serial killer? Because like I say, all these towns, and where that red dot is, going across to the old Super Mare, got me thinking. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, of course, it'll get you thinking too. You go from this profession to this profession to make what? Till that next video, always be safe, take care, beware, keep your eyes out for that mystic London fog. But in all seriousness, I mean, that's what I get. Unless there's more back detail on these people, and unless I get information that these people have been updated, that's what I think. Serial killer. Out.